I'm Aaron Waltke, co-executive producer of Star Trek Prodigy, and I'm here to tell you to live long and podcast.
Well, hello and good evening, everyone. For All Mankind, Season 5, Episode 5, Svoboda is over. And here in 2026 on Live Long and Podcast, we're just getting started. Whether you're joining us live on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, or catching the audio version wherever you get your podcasts, our mission to watch every episode of For All Mankind continues. One political standoff, one corporate meltdown, and one uprising that pushes Mars to the brink. And now this is your captain speaking. And unlike the leadership of Mars this week, I'm not declaring a curfew or covering up a scandal. I'm your host, Dave Mater. And Mars is boiling over. Helios is fracturing. Earth is maneuvering. The cracks between the two worlds have never felt more dangerous. And it wasn't just about geopolitics. It was about truth, repression, rebellion, and the cost of letting the system rot from the inside. And we got a top-tier panel here to break down this episode of For All Mankind. First, he's cracking the political pressure, crushing Polivanov, I never can say his name. The escalating unrest in Happy Valley, the ethical disaster unfolding as Helios scrambles to contain the leak, coolant leak. If there's a crack forming in the colony, political, structural, or moral, he's already mapping the fault lines. Jeff Mater, everyone.
I'm mapping the fault lines every single time.
Always mapping fault lines.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like your signature now.
I enjoyed this episode thoroughly.
I thought you might. I thought this might be up Jeff's alley. So here we're going to break it all down. Back with us after a bit of a hiatus. He's tuned into every moral dilemma. Well, we'll see. This episode throws at us from Irita's brutal past to Dev's evasions to the peacekeepers crossing a line no one can walk back when the ethics get murky and the stakes get planetary. He's got thoughts. Kevin Millard.
Do I have thoughts? I don't know.
Well, I oversold it, maybe.
Maybe a little. Yeah, I think you might have oversold this show too in your opening.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, it takes all sorts. It takes all sorts. Coming in with the feline friend. She's clocked every emotional beat this week. Irina's trauma, Alex quitting Helios, and Miles trying to protect his daughter, and Celia uncovering the truth about Fred. It's not great, Fred. When the personal meets the political and the colony erupts, she feels every shockwave. Heather Narduzzi, everyone.
Hello, all. I too liked this episode. Okay, we're on an upswing. Season 5?
5.
Okay, season 5. Let's have it. Here's Sandwich.
Hey, Sandwich.
Jody's not here because he'd be bringing us down.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, no,
Jody. Or back to Earth, maybe.
Jody is ill, and Adam has had a car breakdown, and he's been sitting in the middle of Ottawa for like 2 hours waiting for our CA to show up. So we wish them both well, wherever they are. Of course, Adam might be able to join us before the end of the show, so hopefully we can catch up with him. We are talking about the 45th episode overall of For All Mankind, Svoboda, which is Russian in or freedom in Russian. Sorry. And this aired Friday, April 24th, and was written by Kira Snyder, directed by Sylvain White. Lots happening. Spoilers if you haven't seen this episode For All Mankind. We got Irina is back, everyone, and she had a rough go after the end of season 4. There, she got sent off to the gulag, and we got some serious gulag action. There's all this. So at the end of the last episode 2, there was the leak from Helios about them planning to replace everyone with automation and shut down the colony over the years and everything else. So that's playing out throughout the episode. We'll find out who knew, who didn't. Palmer is going after Lily and Miles and the whole Dale family. And that gets there. What else is going on? We got Irina and Aleda going at it, picking up their old Margot feud and whatever else. And the episode ends with a huge friggin' riot on in the main promenade against the protesters and the oppressive forces of the MPK. And Boyd. Celia Boyd, she figured out who hit her over the head with the pipe. It was Fred, her partner. And he feels kind of bad about it.
Does he?
Does he?
No.
Maybe.
No, he doesn't.
He's in too
he feels
deep.
bad he feels bad he got caught.
Yeah. We're finding out that Palmer is kind of indirectly responsible, and Fred more directly responsible for the death of the Korean man who died in the first episode, or we found dead in the first episode, whose name escapes me, but that the murder case they've been trying to solve. So is starting to get unraveled here. But does Boyd try to expose any of this? She's like, no, I'm going to gear up in riot gear and head out down to the promenade.
Well, she said, I might have to tell Palmer. And he said, who do you think ordered it? And then turned around and left.
Yeah. So I guess she doesn't know who to go to.
There's nobody.
The governor and Palmer are the authority figures, and they are both corrupt. So, revolution might be on the horizon here. We'll have to see. Okay, well, just Heather, you said you liked the episode. Jeff likes the episode, but Kevin, I don't really know. We didn't catch up with you for 2 weeks here, Kevin. You haven't been loving the season so far.
No, I haven't.
How's this? How is this?
I'm a little over Mars unrest. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Every scene is on the promenade. They're going to find life somewhere. They mention it once in a while.
Yeah.
But like this, I don't know. This isn't the show
that we started with.
No, this episode is better than the ones previous. I mean, I've missed 3. I thought the Ed Dies episode was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It was a decent death for him, I guess.
It was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
You've checked out already. You don't even care anymore.
Not really.
His dead son in heaven didn't do anything for you?
What's that?
His dead son in heaven didn't do anything for you?
No, not a thing.
Really? I cried, and then I cried again while we were talking about it. Kevin, you heartless monster robot.
And Karen was there.
Said about Jody. Jody would have cared.
And Gordo was back. And he wasn't even mad about Danny. So,
Yeah, it was fine.
And what do you think about Danny Stevens' daughter showing up?
I to be honest, until you mentioned it, I totally forgot.
I forgot to.
Right.
But I forgot because what have they done with that since?
Can I say though, I feel like Alex had an episode tonight. Like Alex's was awesome tonight. Like I was like, oh, okay, I get this character now. Like he kind of became the new Ed character for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's filling that role, but he's better. He's
finally give a shit about Kelly's son. Finally.
Yeah.
They've been trying for like 3 seasons, right? To really get us on board with him. I felt like that too. Like they were trying to give Miles that hero moment where he saves his daughter from being beaten up by an MPK, and then he's wailing down on him. But Palmer sees it, and Palmer's going to use it against him. And
Palmer's
like,
a dick.
yeah.
I hope he gets his comeuppance. That just this season, please just have him sucked out of an airlock or something. Like,
they're really
they're
like last season we didn't like him either, but like this season they're really going to lengths to make him more of a villain, like a true villain. And yeah, I'm like whatever, like and the governor's not elected either, right? The governor is like appointed by one of the governments, right? Like who are like I think they alternate between U.S. and Russia, but
Now,
yeah.
speaking of the governor, he sent Lady Macbeth off on her way, and they had a very long, lingering goodbye. One of them's going to die, probably her. Yeah,
I think that is almost certainly the case, that she's got maybe like somehow a protest or something. I don't know where she was going or why, but somehow she's going to die.
Doesn't matter. They're going to kill her off so he can have feelings about it. And
mustache protester guy's going to kill her or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He has the gun.
Yeah, he has the gun, and he's crazy enough to do it.
Yeah, but isn't she already gone?
Yeah, she's. Yeah. Where was she going? Up to the what do they call Phoenix?
I
don't know. All I knew was they spent about 3 minutes of them kissing.
Yeah,
and I thought that was too much.
Long lingering, like her turning around and being like,
"Look at my bum."
Yeah, it was too much. Remember what the director of that scene should have been like? We need to cut this down. Like this is too much.
Yeah, like they've been really selling this relationship for like 3 or 4 episodes, and like I'm like, why do I care about any of this? Like, oh, great, they love each other. That's nice, but like, he's a kind of a.
They want us to, they're trying to give us feelings about them, so we're going to be sad when she dies.
But I don't have feelings for them. They failed in this mission.
Makes no sense. Like they're really going. Yeah, they're just it's okay. You can explain that he loved her and kill her if you're gonna kill. You don't need like they did this last episode too. They were smooching and like it was just too much. Like what are we doing? Like we don't even know these people. Like
if he was a character from the previous seasons, like like the Russian who had did the handshake with Danielle, maybe I would be more invested in it. But because we've never met this character, I don't think, right? Like I don't remember him from any previous season. I'm like, okay, he's the governor and he's part of this corrupt system and he knows all about the automation. So but he loves his wife, and okay, that's nice. But like, so what else am I supposed to,
He seems dumb. Like, who the hell walks through a protest when you're like the main target of said protest? This would be like LBJ walking through the Vietnam. Hey, how you doing? Where you from?
Hey, do you have a disgruntled opinion you'd like to share with an elected representative?
You're not for the war? You don't like it?
No, I don't think that would be his style. I don't know. But I guess trying to humanize him on some level, which is whatever. And then, of course, let's talk about the non-human, Irina. Irina's back, and Irina has suffered, but Irina is even harder than ever. It seems like more KGB, more authoritarian, more like she's like, do what must be done, Paladinov.
Like I know she's a monster and she's committed untold crimes and murders and such, but listen, hi Sam. It is amazing that she got a tooth smacked out of her and then used it to tap on the pipe to her KGB friends so she can get out of there. That was cool. Good job.
Yeah, I'm glad she's back. Like they were like, holy shit, we don't have any characters. We better bring back a good one.
Yeah, and she is a good one.
She was one of the best parts, I think, of season 4, and like, but I thought her story was over. I guess it's not, right? So we're gonna get more into that. Will Aleda get revenge on Irina, or like, sort of even for everything that went down?
I think it's gonna go the other way.
Or will Irina get the best of Aleda?
I think, because Irina's has no morals.
None.
Aleda is not playing it right either. She's letting her know how much she dislikes her, and that's not smart. You're dealing with a super spy. You don't go, hey, I hate you. You know, it's not smart. You know, like I get it. I get why she hates her and everything, but you don't tell her that. You don't show it to her. You know,
Right. Yeah, I don't know, like Arena, like, okay, and like, I'm just trying to, how she gets out of the gulag. So her tooth gets knocked out. She's able to tap back on the pipe to another prisoner or to someone who's trying to help her. Is that what's happening?
I would imagine it has to be somebody with some influence or the ear of a guard or something to pass the message along, right?
Because she has through a Morse code and a tapping on with a tooth, she gets all this information about this prison guard, his whole family, and the means to do something about it from inside a prison, right? Like she can
Which I think shows her reach, her influence.
Yeah.
You know?
But is that plausible?
Well, I mean, we're talking about a colony on Mars here, so
all right. You know. They're like, but how do we get her out of the gulag? What if like she's just Morse codes to some KGB guy we can't see, and then you know that's how she gets out. Okay, you know, and then from there,
I loved it. I thought it was badass
because like she was put there by like the president of Russia, right? Like basically for embarrassment. You know, so I don't know if one gulag guard has the authority to sort of undo all that. Like if the government wants you in the gulag, I don't know if they would release her just because this one guard just says, "Oh, well, or maybe he vouched for her and said, "Oh, she's been rehabilitated and she's good to go." I guess that's the other thing that could have happened. Anyway, you guys ready to jump through the episode? Any other thoughts you want to speak to? If not, we can start.
Look, Kevin is just bursting with thoughts and opinions.
He's so excited. I can't handle it either, but you know, I didn't want to add to the fervor. All right, so let's get into it. So we start here in the episode with a bag over someone's head, similar to what Margot was dealing with when she got bagged, I think last season.
Some symmetry.
A lot of symmetry here. She's got the burlap bag on, can't really see through it. And she ends up here at the very scary looking, very depressed looking gulag in the middle of Siberia, presumably. And she's brought out wearing the same thing she was wearing at the end of season 4. So, you know, indicating that she was brought pretty much directly here in the middle of nowhere, literally. And you know, it's a very inviting place.
Those guys aren't dressed warm enough.
No, I would say they're not.
It's very cold.
Siberia? No way.
Yeah. This is the best they could do, I guess. Anyway, she's heading on in. This is 2003 up in Siberia, and you know, and she's not looking forward to her run here. So the gulag, it's not as hospitable as an American prison compared to what Margot is living in. Not that Hilton. You know, it's got the paint's peeling. And she ends up here on the floor. The toilet, not much of a toilet, but you know, it's the just one little faucet for water is allowed. Not up to her normal standards here. And yeah, just a light and a skylight, or I guess a little window. So Irina's here. We see her going through the process of the manual labor, the gulag, having to move these bags from one place to another, I guess, as a form of punishment. Hard labor here for the women's gulag. So Irina's hair also cut short throughout this sequence. They're taking the toll, her hands getting calluses all over them. You know, but then she starts hearing the tapping on the pipe. Someone's trying to talk to her, but she has no means, I guess, to tap back. Like in this cell, they don't even give you anything. Like even when they feed you, it's just like a plastic bowl. It's with no spoon. So there's not a lot of ways to tap. She could use
a button.
I was just thinking that. I was just looking at that button.
That's not a tooth, though. That's not
as good as a tooth.
As cool as a tooth.
No. Her food is like this borscht soup that comes through. We get this a few times. I don't know how much she likes it. She kind of you know, doesn't give a great response here. Then we meet her the guard who's trying to get her to confess. over time. Irina being a powerful KGB agent in the past does not like taking guff off this young guy. She's saying this is an outrage. I can't be treated like this. And he says, "Oh, you're being rehabilitated." And she says, "How long will that take until you are rehabilitated?" "I'm not scared of you," she says. "I was running security at Star City when you were a pimply teenager fucking the family goat." Like, which,
Do they fuck goats a lot in Russia?
I guess they fuck
He
goats
does.
when they're teenagers only.
Right,
Then they mature
only
out
when
of
they're-
it.
She
Coming of
she
age.
knows everything about him.
Yes. All his family.
He's like, how did you know that?
Yeah, so he gives her a big smack across the face, and we'll find out that she gets beaten many times by this guy over the course of her stay. So then it kind of goes through like a repeating cycle: food, hard labor, her trying to
This is
clean up.
really bleak montage.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, as far as prison montages go, this is a rough
It's
one.
bad.
this is a rough one, but she is a monster, so I don't know. It's a little easier to take.
But like I said, I think in the first season, first episode of the season, the theme of this season is going to be prison and like riots and that sort of revolt and revolution, all that. Like that's the theme of this season. And here we are with a prison montage to start off this episode, and then we end it with a big protest. So like, they're clearly trying to say that this, and there's a comment by her in this episode about capitalism, and this is what it does, and it creates these systems where people either make lots of money or they can build cities on Mars that are completely automated, or they end up in a place where you're in prison in Siberia.
Yeah. Well said. So her escape from the prison is precipitated by when one time she's getting beat up by the guard and her tooth pops out, which is her only opportunity to get anything to tap back on that pipe, which she takes with her KGB ingenuity.
Now, it happens in movies and TV a lot that people get smacked so hard that it knocks a tooth out.
Mm-hmm.
How, especially like a molar, how likely is that? How hard would you have to hit somebody to knock a tooth out? I imagine her teeth are pretty wiggly from living in the gulag and eating borscht.
It happens in hocky.
Oh yeah, hockey players, that happens a lot. Right?
So, yeah, I guess.
So, but I think it takes quite a bit of force. Normally, depending on how, if it's not loose already,
well, hers are probably loose from the borscht only diet.
Yeah, I don't know if her oral hygiene was at the top of its game at this time, but
not really a priority.
Yeah, I never
I
saw her
don't know.
brush her
That
teeth
tooth
once.
was looking pretty white.
Yeah, well,
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, well, come to find out that she spends about 19 months here, like about a year and a half in total. Before she says, "Oh, I'm ready to confess one day." 19 months is her amount of time here. And this is where she's like, "No, and now I know everything about you and your family," and this is her leverage over him to get out of here. Semyon Petrokov knows where he lives. It's a street address, who his parents are, who his sister is. And she wants to make him pay. So set him free and I won't do anything to you. But like, if I were this guy, like, I don't trust this lady. She'll probably get him killed anyway. But this
or you will find yourself alone in this world. Oh, wow. That's a good line.
You will bury your entire family, and you will be waiting for a knife in the dark for the rest of your days.
That was excellent.
Yeah.
It actually reminds me. It reminds me of Enterprise when that Zindi guy says, "Your treacherous bloodline will die at the end of my spear."
Right.
Like it.
Oh yeah, the Zindi reptilians.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't
she's
remember
like,
that, but I definitely made a note of you'll be waiting for a knife in the dark for the rest of your days. So don't cross me, fellas.
No, she's not to be trifled with, I suppose. She's rehabilitated now, though, everyone. She's okay. She's better. All the bad is gone. So she gets...
They give her back her business suit, her power suit, and let her walk out here.
Yeah, and we see how much thinner she looks in it now, right? Like, the weight she's lost here. It was not like, a great vacation for her, but the name of the episode, Svoboda, freedom, the Russian word for freedom, is what she breathes here, presumably sometime in 2004 when she gets released. And I don't know, like, did she walk to the next town in Siberia?
No, that's just what Siberia is like.
Okay. Not even
That's
pants.
summer. That's summer in Siberia.
Yeah.
That's summer. So she's in the middle of nowhere, literally, but I guess she figured out where she went from there and ended up on the board of Kurgan before we get to the events of this season. So that's the montage. It's like a 10-minute teaser before we get into credits in this episode, which is, a little different than most episodes.
It was great. Good opener.
Good opener. Yep. Yeah. Then after the credits, it's all about like the fallout of the leak in the previous episode. That Helios planning to replace people with automation on Mars. Send a lot of the
graphic is hilarious.
This is the doxing logo. It's an unlocked key here. This is very much like the Snowden leak, Jeff, of that time, and I think meant to parallel that in many ways. Although this isn't government, this is private industry, but it kind of mixes with government. So it's like it's
a public-private partnership,
right? And so what it means in national security or international security is not completely clear to me. But they're planning to send people out. Now, of course, I think a lot of this has to do with like new advances in technology in our time, and the things that the writers are trying to pull attention to, with this, and so all of the political fallout, how people around in different places are reacting differently. The president of Russia, much like how he was not happy with Irina, he's no longer happy with the governor, who was considered to be his like protege to be like the next head of the Soviet Union. Once the heir apparent, but now he's falling from grace. Russians, Soviets, they do not like embarrassments like this. You must contain things, or they will send you to the gulag. And watch out. We see some more of the news coverage here. A lot of these protest scenes in the episode, with the people calling for free Mars now, and Mars is ours, and all these chants throughout the episode.
Also, the one thing I wish they had done is like, what do people on Earth think about this? Because I feel like people on Earth are like, I know I would not could care less. Why would I care about these people on Mars?
I don't know if you would, right? Like it's it's hard. I'm there might be, but on a planet of a few billion, there might be some people sympathetic to it.
Yes, I would be sympathetic, but I would what do you mean it's yours? Like who's
ours?
It's ours. Okay. Like, are you staking like your claim as a citizen of Mars? Is that's what
I think they're trying to get to, right? There's that scene later on where he goes, "Oh, where are you from?" And she goes, "Mars. I'm from here. This is my homeland." But
right.
They're not even up to 20 years on this planet yet. Like, it's been 18 years or so. Even Ilya, he's joining in on the chance. He's not going to cash in those Helios stock options that Dev gave him last season. He's here to stay. Everyone's pissed off. Alex shows up here. We see him look at the memorial for Ed. It's still up, although that will get torn down by the end of the riot. As people will land on it and everything else. He ends up here with Lily, and there's the peacekeepers looking on. That they think they've gotten away with releasing all these files, right? Like neither of them are in trouble yet, so they think for the time being that no one knows it was them. We'll come to find out that everyone knows it was them, or at least the authority figures will deduce it very soon.
There's only so many options.
Look at this sign down front. This is where we live, assholes.
Yes, fuck Helios. There was another one on the previous screen I thought was fun. Where is this? Peckers Go Home. That was my favorite one.
So I do like the no robots on Mars, no automation. Exactly.
No
Like
RoboCops, or RoboCops will be next, or something.
like this is the thing. Like, why do the MPK police here or whatever? Like, shouldn't they also be against all this automation? They're gonna have to leave. And then like we do get that scene with Palmer.
Well,
like,
even Boyd and Fred here, they talk about it, right?
Right.
You know, where this guy, you know, and she's like, "Are you okay with all this?" And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." Like, you know, it's who cares.
All the people in ICE shouldn't be okay with what's going on
Exactly.
in the States, but they are.
Exactly. Yeah, there's definitely a parallel there. Like that's the main thing. It's like even Boyd here, like when the riot, she puts on her gear and she doesn't agree with any of this shit. She just wants to solve the murder case. That's all she cares about, you know. Yeah, but like she goes and does it. She goes and does her duty, you know, and you know, but she doesn't want to. She doesn't actually like believe in that. But you know, she wants to keep her job because she wants to stay in good standing because she's had issues with that in the past, and that's kind of how they control you. And so like there's a lot of great themes throughout this episode of like how we end up with these situations.
Well, I guess how do people rationalize? Like, like you can think whatever you want about Fred. I think like the writers want us to interpret him as a well-meaning person who's fallen into corruption because, hey, got to pay the bills, got to listen to the boss, whatever. Like
I don't really. I did not get. I feel like he's just a scumbag.
Well, he is.
He murdered somebody, and he's letting another guy take the fall.
Accidentally murdered.
Yeah, but,
but
that
did
was
he
after he was
accidentally let Lee take the fall for it?
Yeah.
Did he just fall down and that happened?
Yes, I'm interpreting what I think the writers want us to think about him, not what we actually think about him.
And I think the writers want us to think he's a scumbag. Like that's why I don't see like that point of view. Like I feel like we're supposed to be conflicted. I feel like what you're trying to say is like Boyd is supposed to feel that way. Like Boyd.
Well, she's our point of view character in this relationship, I suppose, right? And because you know he only really interacts with her,
right?
And you know, and I think like I guess it's also like the fraternity of being a police officer and wanting to, but like there have been corrupt cops for all time, and there still are, you know, and so like it can't be the first time she's ever run into this, you know, maybe it is, I don't know, but like she seems to wants to believe him or something.
Well, I mean, the fact that she went and like asked him about it before, like she like got more evidence and like really could have nailed his ass, you know. And instead, she was like, "No, let's talk about it." And then she finds out things. Then she says she's going to go to Palmer, and then you know, like, and then he's like, "Who do you think is even more corrupt than me?" Palmer.
Assuming he's telling the truth about that,
yeah,
like,
right.
You know,
which I think he wasn't.
You think that Palmer didn't tell him to do it?
I think that was his last chip. That was his last card he could play to get her to stop.
Yeah.
You know,
maybe. Like, I guess, you know, we'll find out probably soon whether Palmer is actually in on it or not. It seems plausible that Palmer could be, knowing what we know about Palmer, especially after this episode. Speaking of Palmer, here was where Miles went to go see Palmer in their secret backroom meetings here. You know, and because I guess Palmer's only informant on the underworld of Mars is Miles, the former, you know, owner of the black market. I guess this being this room that they meet in being the old speakeasy that they used to run back in the day. Anyway, and this is where Palmer reveals that he knows that it was Lily, Miles's daughter, who released all the files. She works for NNC. It was an illegal release to the press. This is, you know, very much, I think, you know, the Snowden leaks of around this time. Was that around 2013, Jeff?
2013.
Yeah. So, you know, similar things here. And that major prison time is being threatened against Lily. You know, and Miles does not like it. He throws Palmer against the wall here and holds him up. But yeah,
that's how to get leniency.
That's how you get leniency. Yeah, but I don't know. But Palmer doesn't do anything about it, and Miles doesn't really do anything about it either here, anyways. And Palmer, well, other than Palmer just says, give me that information I want about where Lily got the information from in the first place, which was Alex, or that he's going to throw the book at Lily, basically get her, deported and sent to prison. So I don't know. Then we got Dev. We're like, did Dev know about the plans for automation last episode? Did Leda know? Well, this is the scene where we get that all breaking down from us. We see Dev looking out the window, and then Aleda is here to see him, and she didn't know anything about it, which she's very upset about as the CEO of Helios, that she didn't know about this. And like, she even says, like, if the stockholders found out that she didn't know about this, like, their stock price would drop like crazy just from that, because it would seem like the company's not working together.
Does she not know this guy? Like, she knows he doesn't give a crap about that.
Yeah.
Like he like, this is unbelievable from Elena. Like, she drove me nuts in this scene where it's just like, what this guy's about. Stop it.
Apparently she didn't, like, according to her, and they have a little bit of a back and forth here, but I don't know. Like, it was, I agree with you to an extent, Jeff, that like, that she, like, do you not know who you're working with here? And what did you think Dev was into? And he keeps talking about his plans to build his mega city, his Lego project, as Aleda calls it. And, she's like, no one cares about that. And like, and even Alex would say that, but that's only for like the privileged few that will come live in your like idyllic city of the future. Like, not the common people, not average people.
I thought that was one of the best lines in the whole show, was when Alex was like, it's just for the privileged few. Like, that, I thought that was really insightful for someone his age.
Well, that's exactly the type of people that, do see that stuff. When you are that age, you're the one going, well, this doesn't make any sense. Like, and growing up on Mars, where you're watching this billionaire build this Lego city, he's right. Like, everything he said, he's like, you live up here in this mountain where, like, you look down on everyone and you think you're better than everybody, and it's so that's his character to a T. Like, that's who he is. And he all he cares about is like some sort of legacy about his father, or about proving his father wrong or something. Like, that's all. It's all internal. It has nothing to do with bettering humanity. It's all about him.
And all of this matters, I think, more to Alex, because Alex can't leave.
Yeah.
This is actually where Alex lives and has to live.
Yeah.
Right.
So if everybody leaves, that's not great for him.
No, So I don't know. I feel like Dev is emerging more and more as a villain. He's been like not always the greatest guy anyway, but like
he's been the villain since his first appearance day.
Well, I'm waking up to all that now, I guess. I thought he might be a force for good, but maybe not. Anyway, so this is the next scene is when the Kurgan board members, including Irina, show up here, and here to visit the cute little colony, as they say. Irina here, we see her now at this age here in 2012 for the first time. She's seen Pelinat. I can't remember say this guy's name, Pelinanov, and who he knows from his days as a cosmonaut, and much to discuss. That's just never a good sign if you say we have much to discuss. We'll find out that the governor's wife does not like Irina. Most people don't like Irina. She's KGB.
Well, Irina introduced herself and spoke to the governor and had an extended conversation, and then she goes, "Hey," to the woman, and then leaves.
Yeah.
She like deliberately snubbed her, and then they're walking behind Irina. They're 2 feet behind her and having a wide open conversation about her.
Yeah, like no way Irina can understand.
This bitch is tapping on a pipe with her tooth. She hears everything.
She did. She's like, I'm killing that wife. Can't wait for that to happen. She probably will kill the wife. The governor's like, oh, I can handle her. I handled her for years. I know exactly what to do. You never leave the KGB. So the indication here, Irina still up to her KGB ways. So this is, and then we have this meeting here between the Helios people, the governor, and the Kurgan board members, bringing Aleda and Irina together for the first time since the end of season 4, when Margot was arrested and everything else. And Aleda knowing a lot of the stuff Irina's done, in particular the murder of Sergei at the last season too. And all the things that played out that, and ruining Margot's life as well. Anyway, so what's their squabble about in this scene? I'm trying to recall. But Irina kind of tells Aleda off. Oh, it's about the leak, right? It's about one of your company members leaked it. We want to know who, and Aleda says, "No way, you're going to be going after my employees. We're Americans, and you can't affect our rights like that."
Typical governments and corporations worried about who broke who do they need to punish? Who needs to be punished here? Considering this woman just got out of a prison, she's she just does the same thing that was done to her. It's, if you're not the boot, you're the one getting stepped on.
I don't think her time in the gulag did anything to change her worldview.
No.
But Dev goes, "Don't worry, everyone. I know who did the leak already." And we're going to find out that Dev is trying to protect Alex, because Alex comes into Helios. We can see all the spray paint there. And he thinks that they're on to me. They're going to catch me, put me in jail. He goes to his desk, and he had done it from his supervisor's computer when he accessed the files previously. So she's kind of getting the blame, and Dev shows up to "Hey, can I talk to Alex?" And Dev reveals that they think it's her, but they're gonna figure out it wasn't her, because I know it was you. But so I guess Dev is putting the blame on her temporarily, but ultimately she's not going to face consequences. He's protecting Alex here. And this is kind of what the conversation we were talking about earlier, where, Dev is trying to build his city and protect his legacy and his father and everything else. I like the way this
is so cool, this shot, the way that they framed this.
Yeah, they're on two different sides here of the window, or there's two windows here, and there's this gulf between them. This is where he's saying this is not for the privileged few. This should be for the people who helped build this place, and help establish it. And Alex, he doesn't want to work at Helios anymore. See you later. See you never, Dev. I think
what's infuriating too about Dev, it's not like he was born into money. It's not like he's the silver spoon and that's how he grew up. He was a self-made. He understands what it was like to not be rich and a billionaire and all this stuff, and that's what's kind of it would. I get that's the disdain that Alex has for him. It's what it's like to be on the other side.
A lot of people like to pull the ladder up behind them.
Yep.
And was Alex really ever has he ever really faced adversity? Is basically his mother has been loaded his entire life, but he's his health issues, I guess, but not
I think he's starting his life out as an adult, right? And his first move is to say, "I stand with the people," which is pretty ballin', considering he has no power,
Right. I'm with the people.
And he could have a ton just by going along.
Yep.
He's Dev's favorite guy.
Yeah.
Right?
And why? Okay. And I think this is important to answer is I think the only reason that Dev likes him is because of what you said earlier, Kevin, is that he can't leave. He is a Martian. He can't leave. So that way Dev automatically has respect for him for that. That's the base for him, I think, with Dev. It's because he knows that his little colony for the privileged few, he's going to be there.
I think it's also too that Dev doesn't have children of his own that we know of, and I think he's kind of latched on to Alex as a sort of father figure in a way, or as even just a mentor to a protege. He was trying to maybe groom Alex to be his successor. And and Alex walking away here, probably not the best for Dev's plans, because who's gonna rule Mars once Dev's gone?
Yeah, who's going to be your little Mars baby mascot?
Right. Dev does no answer for that. Okay, moving on to the next scene, which is we got Lily here on the promenade. There's all the protesting going on. We see Miles looking at his daughter. He hasn't had time to talk to his daughter about, the fact that the polymer's onto her. He meets up with Alex and the other friend, and they're having a good time. I don't know. I guess this is meant to be like Miles is not sure what to do. And then he comes back to their domicile, and he starts drinking before he starts searching his daughter's laptop to figure out if he can help her. Oh, we have an arrival, everyone. Let's bring him in here.
Whoops.
Oh, there we go. Oh, we lost Kevin.
No, I'm still here.
Okay. And Adam is still in his car.
Yeah, but I might as well join because I'm going to be here for a while, apparently. So, hello.
Are you stuck on Mars? Is that what happens?
Is Mars yours?
It kind of feels like it because, downtown Ottawa, apparently there's no tow trucks available. But anyway, I'm waiting for roadside assistance.
That's crazy. Like, there would have been 6 tow trucks there if you were in Toronto in like 3 seconds.
All fighting for me with
all
guns in
fighting
hand.
for the fare, right?
That's right.
I guess Ottawa works a little differently. Well, Adam, let's catch up with you about this episode. What did you like it? Did you not like it?
I did like it, actually. It was a very slow drama. It didn't need to be on Mars. It could have been anywhere, but it was still very interesting.
Yeah. So what was your favorite part? Was it the arena stuff at the beginning of the Gulag? Was it like the riot at the end? Was there anything else?
I don't think the arena stuff was that compelling, other than they got the backstory on where she was and what she was doing. But all she had to do was confess to get out of there, I guess. Maybe you guys can fill me in on that, but I do find the whole protest against, or the notion that the people that live there on Mars work for the company, right? Helios.
Most of them, yes, yeah, almost all of them, I think.
Except the families. And
the creators who are
don't work for Helios.
So thinking about that, so now they're talking about automation and taking away the jobs, but like anybody, and I'm just susceptible to job loss. You work at the pleasure of the company, and when they decide you're not there anymore, you're not there anymore. Now it's a little different because they moved to Mars and whatnot. Some of them were born there, but I find this a very interesting dynamic. Dev just lives in a different world to me. He's got his own thing going, but I don't believe the outcome that everybody's looking for here, whether it be no automation or no people, is going to come true. And I'm very interested to see how this plays out.
Well, I think what you have with humans is when, even if they work for a company, when they go anywhere, any colony, they eventually people say, "Hey, this is mine," or "This is where I live. This is my home now." And yeah, you could say you're subject to the company's whim, but then at the same time, the people can go, "Well, we don't agree." And this is kind of what's happening. They're like, "This is my home now, and I don't agree. I don't care what you say, company. You want to get rid of me anyway, and so we're gonna fight you."
Right.
And so I think it's human nature to fight for your home, right? Basically.
Well, it's very American too, right? Because if you think of like you colonists, you live in those colonies at the privilege of the crown, King George III, and they went, "F you, it's ours."
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of sentiment. I think as Canadians, we're like, "Oh, that seems very upsetting. Why can't we just slowly wait for them to stop caring about us?" And
peace, order, and good government, Dave.
Yeah.
We'll keep a representative of the king. That's okay. It won't have much power, but you can.
But on paper, all the power.
Right. On paper, you can be in control, but not really.
Yeah. So okay, all interesting. Do you want us to resume with just where we were running through the
Yeah,
episode?
please. I'll just catch you in as you go.
Okay, all right. We were just at this part where where is it? Oh, there's where Miles, he takes a big drink here before he start, and you got the pinky finger up in the air too when he's taking the drink here.
No, that's his index finger.
Oh, it's his index finger. All right, I thought
He's not as classy as you thought, Dave.
Yeah.
No, I put the pinky up because I'm classy, but I thought no.
You've
Miles,
got British heritage, Dave. You got to use a pinky.
He's a
It's
British
true.
actor too. So maybe it is a
yeah.
British thing. I don't know.
Maybe it is. Okay, so anyway, he goes into his daughter's room, which, by the way, great. I guess she shared this with her sister, but it was a big room. Tries to get into his daughter's laptop, but can't get past the password, basically. Password? Well, what would her password be? Maybe it's I love Alex forever or something like that. But no, then she comes in and she's all upset. You're going through my stuff. How dare you? But he's like, you are looking at serious prison time because they know that you are the leak. So I'm trying to help you to see if I can give up who your source was. She says, no damn way I'm giving up my source. I have journalistic integrity.
So this was very interesting to me too. Just if you don't mind me diving in here, because like the fact that she seemed very surprised how much trouble she could be in.
Yeah, she was very surprised by this. Because you're just releasing truth. You're just releasing things. I don't know. Do you think Snowden knew he was going to be in trouble?
Well, but Snowden, Alex is the Snowden in this scenario. Right. Glenn Greenwald would be her. No, okay. Glenn Greenwald is still free. You know. They didn't take out the journalist has more protection here. But maybe not. But not on Mars. This is the whole problem. Is they're not in America. There is no First Amendment. You know, none of that exists here. You know, right, so all of these, it's basically the Wild West. You know, it's international waters is basically where they are.
Yeah, I went over it I missed it in the conversation with Palmer and Miles earlier. But Palmer was like I joined the police force basically because this isn't a place to live. This is a temporary base. We're not here. We're here for a good time, not a long time, And let's start beating out of people any sense of of self and place and identity. But that all changed when they did the operation to make the asteroid stay around Mars. That was right. That was the whole point of bringing the asteroid to Mars, right? But I guess they're like, no, it's whatever. I guess it's costing more money. And the dig that he has at him about what was the girl that should have killed Palmer last year? Oh, Massey, where she's gonna join Massey in this cell or whatever, and she'll be in prison with Massey, where she belongs.
And remember, Dev has always been the villain. He whipped all these people up into a riot last season to steal this fucking asteroid just to get rid of them all in this season.
This is true.
He's always been the villain. Always.
Well, good point. I just didn't see it. I didn't see it fully.
Dave just wants to think the best of everyone.
I do, until they give me a good reason, right?
Well, he gave you plenty of reason.
Yeah. Well, the workers are uniting everyone here. And Boyd is this is where Boyd is working the mystery, the conspiracy case. She comes to the spacesuit requisition guy, who I think she flirts with to get this information because she wants to see the logs of the spacesuits when they were taken out.
I wouldn't say she's really flirting with them, but she's kind of appealing to his sense of I need this to make my nut. Can you help me? And then just kind of stands there and stares at him, hopefully, until he lets her do it.
Right. But this is a pretty sexy man with this mustache, right? Come on. Seems like Boyd's type.
No. She's gay for sure.
Well, we know Fred said she hooked up with somebody. I just don't know who yet. So we'll see if that comes back.
It was a woman. That has already been in the show.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is it?
Yeah.
I missed all that.
She mentioned
Dave can't tell villains or queers.
No. Not without name tags.
I missed that too, Heather, by the way. I had no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so she goes through the suit checkouts. She starts looking at who's like the day that the guy was murdered, the guy they found, or maybe he wasn't murdered. Maybe he just accidentally died.
Or she could ditch the mystery and just use this as like Mars Tinder.
She could swipe left, swipe right, you know. And she starts taking pictures here with her iPhone. And then a couple of the MPKs are a part of this, and including that guy, Vincent Spano. And then we got Fred Stanislaus. And he was he also checked out a suit that night at 11:39. Fred, not my good old buddy Fred, my partner Fred. What does this mean? Because he didn't know anything about it, according to her. Okay, then we got a conversation. Next scene is a conversation here with Kelly and Alex. Alex is distracted during the scene. Kelly on her way to Titan, a moon of Saturn. Trying to talked about not having to avoid asteroids because they're further apart. Not that they would show us them flying to Saturn.
That's not exciting.
That's not exciting. What we need is is politics, and that's what we're gonna get.
The promenade.
Yeah, and the promenade. We can't afford to show that. Come on. What do you want from us? Anyway, so it's a little conversation with Alex and his mother, and I don't know.
Not a great scene. I mean,
not a great scene.
Like Kelly just drives me nuts. It's like, why? Like, she's like, things can get out of control, and it's just like, but meanwhile she's racing toward another moon, and it's just like, if I were in her shoes, I'd be like, I gotta get back soon. Like, I need this, like, but I guess that's the astronaut mindset. She's on a mission and just gotta focus on that. But it's just like, I don't know. Like,
it was like her father died, and then she immediately got on this mission to go to Titan, right? So
yeah, but remember when Alex died, I mean, Ed had to sit there and wait for months to come back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was horrible. But at least it affected Ed. Like with Kelly, it's like she's just like, I'm on another mission, and it's like, like, I know she doesn't know about what Alex did, but she knows something's up with him, like in the scene. Like she could tell. And she's just like kind of like not pressing it. Not the way Tony Kebbell's character is pressing it with his daughter. Like he was a lot more concerned. I know he had more information, but like
Kelly's never been a really hands-on kind of parent.
No. She spends most of her time in Korolev Crater looking for life.
Yeah.
Ed probably raised Alex more than she did.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Remember the times he was sending him into duct work to steal things?
That's true. Him and Dev. Don't worry. Both of those father figures for Alex. Okay, then we go to mission control, the Titan, like the mission control. We got Aleda in control here, talking to that Poindexter guy who doesn't like Aleda, or not Aleda, Kelly.
Kelly.
He's like, everything's good. She's like, how's morale? Good. We're good. We're going to Titan. It's cool.
Don't ask me questions. Everything's going fine.
Yeah. Like what? Like
nobody wants to watch a show about that.
Like, what if we got like an accountant to be the head of our space mission? That's who this guy is. Like, or some kind of a financial.
Hey, don't make fun of accountants.
Hey, I'm married to one. So he just doesn't seem like an astronaut type, but okay. Anyway, then Irina comes into Aleda's mission control. And she's all like, "Oh, we're going to Titan and all this stuff." And we see up here, they're looking at the trajectory. The Kurgan team also on their way.
So exciting!
So exciting! I don't think this is to scale, but but that's what
it's better than the old whiteboard with the moon on it.
Yeah,
moon.
Marco's not here to draw the moon whiteboard, but like. This is all we're getting of the mission to Titan: diagrams and discussion.
Diagrams and discussion, but they showed us so much more of the Mars mission. We felt like we were on that mission more, as the audience. And now they're like, you're gonna watch it all from Mars.
You guys are actually right on this because, this is a big deal. We've been going to Mars for how many years, and they finally got there, and then how many seasons, and then they're going to the Titan, and we're barely talking about it.
Yeah, it's like it's in the background. But what about workers' rights? Well, I guess that's important too. But anyway, okay. Aleda wants Irina the hell out of her mission control. Tries to go out there, and then she I think as Aleda's walking by, she goes, "Oh, how is Margot doing?"
She just said, "How is she?"
Oh, how is she? She doesn't use her name, but and Aleda goes, "She's having a great time in prison." Yeah, again, you know what? So,
she's like, "Oh, I would like to kill her.
I would like, she would like to get her for sure." And stealing, she makes she makes another comment to Irina about stealing, right? Like, because originally, they stole Aleda's design for the original Mars mission and all that too,
the space elevator. They won the contract.
Oh, and they won the contract. How do you win that space elevator contract and all that?
Yes, I'm sure it had nothing to do with the governor being Russian, and then it goes right to the governor scene.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's nothing to do with.
And then we get 45 minutes of these two smooching.
Oh my god,
it was so long.
It was so long with subtitles, all subtitles. That's the end of the world. But I'm just like, okay, but why? You want me to really care about these two?
Yeah, because she's gonna die.
She's gonna die. Okay, so we can yada yada this part. We thought she might be a more interesting character, like a Lady Macbeth. I don't think she's gonna be any of that thing. I think she's just gonna be her purpose in the story is to die and to make the governor more evil, I guess, or to push him.
Yeah, they seemed like an evil power couple. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Totally. Or she was pulling the strings and he's just a puppet.
Yeah,
but I think they're trying to make it seem like he's a sympathetic guy, like he's a good-hearted guy or whatever.
Yeah,
and then he's gonna turn evil. But it seemed like I felt like I think everyone else did that they seemed like an evil power couple.
Yeah,
I still think she's KGB.
At best, they're morally gray, at best.
Right.
But anyway, so
look at this. This took her a full 35 seconds to walk at her.
Yeah, with 10 glances back.
Yes.
So it was a lot.
Girl, get on the plane already. Good night. Bye.
Yeah, even on a jet plane. There she goes. Anyway, the governor. Oh, there goes my love. Then he doesn't know what to do with himself. He looks up at the apple tree. He's like, you know what? I'm going to go talk to the protesters. I'm going to tell them exactly why they're wrong and I'm right. So
this was a terrible idea.
Yeah. So he just walks in, there's only 5,000 people. So he's basically like the mayor of a small village, but, he's talking, he's like, hey, where are you from? And then, that the woman's like, I'm from Mars. And this one says, I'm also from Mars. I'm like, you can't.
Adam, before you came on, Jeff made a great analogy. He said, this was a terrible idea. It'd be like LBJ going to Vietnam and walking up being like, hey, where are you from? You don't like this war? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong with the war?
What's wrong? Just calm down, everyone. You're not getting it.
Funny thing is, he has no security that's visible.
He has a couple of these MPKs behind him, but they may have already been there. He tries to shake Alex's hand, and Alex is like, "I don't think you should be here. This is not advisable for you right now."
Mars is ours.
This is
Mars
as
is ours.
advisable as Trump going to a correspondence dinner.
It's just as advisable.
This TV show is about as real as that.
Yes. They start chanting Mars is ours to him.
Before we go any further, can you go back one? I can't believe nobody has commented that I'm wearing the same shirt as her.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Well, there hasn't been a screenshot of her yet, I think.
Yeah,
I haven't.
okay.
It's been
I can't
50,
see you guys, so
Has there been 50? Well, that is, you know what? I like the commitment. I appreciate
Thank you. Carry on.
Yes. Okay, good. Sorry, I didn't pick that. I picked that out. Okay. Then we got Irina here in Mission Control, and this is where the governor is like, "Oh, that did not go so well with the protesters." She goes, "What is wrong?" I thought I could talk to these. I could reason with these protesters, but, they won't listen to me. She goes, then you have allowed things to escalate. This is not the Soviet way. This is where we crush dissent. The only way to put out this fire is to starve it of oxygen, is her line here.
And she means just jettison all the oxygen out of the promenade.
She does. Airlock them all.
Airlock. Bye.
And then she tells Palmer, I want a curfew. That's always the thing. Make sure to send them to bed. And, this is what we train for, sir. That's what I'm ready to do. Let's hope you made a wise decision for both our sakes. Anyway, then we got Boyd. She's suiting up. She's getting ready to bust some heads, break up this, hopefully peacefully. I'm sure they're concerned. But she pulls good old Fred, her partner, aside and goes, you lied to me about the suit. You lied to me about knowing about the guy who died, and he confronts her about this. And then I think he gives up some information that you're going and digging into this stuff and this, and then she's able to figure out that he knows more than she's told people. And that the only way he could know that is if he had followed her earlier and he was the one who hit her with the pipe, which we had kind of figured out previously when we covered that episode. So they get into an argument and he's like, well, I didn't mean to kill the guy. It was just to scare him and tell him to not expose all these Kurgan secrets. And Boyd, she's been so betrayed by Fred. Poor so bad.
I love that he thinks that's somehow better too. Like, no, I didn't mean it. I just meant to take him out there and torture him and then bring him back.
Well, it's better than murder.
I'm a good guy.
I'm a good guy.
I'm a nice guy.
Yeah. And just the face he makes here, I'm like, I think the writers want us to think like he's somewhat sympathetic, but you don't have to be sympathetic of him.
No, I just feel like he's caught, and that's it.
He's caught, but he doesn't get exposed because she doesn't know. To his point, there's nowhere to go to, and there's no time to talk about this anymore. Yeah, there was a murder. Yeah, there was they pinned the murder on Lee, but forget all that. We need to go bust some heads down in the protest. That's the real priority at the moment. And
this scene reminded me a lot of. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Battle in Seattle.
No.
So it's a really good movie. It's with like Woody Harrelson's in it and Charlize Theron, but it's about the protest that happened in Seattle in 1999 up against the WTO. And they kind of do the same thing. There's the protests and there's the cops, and you kind of see like basically there's like this whole same kind of scene where you get the gearing up of the police, and then you get the protesters, and it comes together, it clashes,
and you see both perspectives basically.
You see both perspectives, exactly.
Yeah. As they're heading out here, then we meet up with the protesters before they're going to encounter the MPK. There's fights here about like the protests aren't doing enough. We need to take more action here, and this is Miles's wife, Mrs. Dale. She doesn't want, she's like, what are we going to do? All we can do is protest and be peaceful. But Mr. Mustache Man here, he says no, he gets the bullhorn. He's yelling, Mars is ours. It's still just a protest, but it's a louder protest.
The protests aren't doing enough, so he just yells louder.
He's like, "We're not doing enough. We need to yell louder, and then they'll hear us."
Basically, everyone kind of sees where this is going, and it's not going to be a peaceful protest. It's going to end up in violence, and you know what? That's kind of what's. Once the leak happened of the information of the automation, this was inevitable. This was going to occur. Now the way the authorities are handling this is terrible. Right. It's really like they're asking for it.
They're like, well, people are going to bed. What are we going to do? You know? And we need the curfew. Alex is the first to see all the MPK coming in with their riot shields and their helmets and their batons.
What's amazing to me here is the governor is not smart enough to know this is completely inflammatory. Like, you talk about gas on fire. Like, man.
He's taking the Soviet approach.
But okay.
The Soviet approach is to remove the air.
Airlock.
Yeah.
Right. So this is a half measure. Irina would say this is a half measure, I think. You should have went in there with
Well-
machine guns, and then then
Well,
they really would have.
I mean, removing the air would be easier.
That's what they did in Total Recall, right? And,
That's right.
And how did that pan out? That work out for them?
Nope.
Anyway, Palmer
Because they found a giant mountain full of ice that they were able to terraform with. Amazing.
Palmer tries to give them a few warnings, but they're not going anywhere. Mars is ours. And Alex is the one. He looks at Mustachio Man, and they look at each other, and they start yelling. And then Lily's all down with it. They're ready to fight, and they're going for it. So he says, "All right, we're gonna disperse this mob." And here they go. Boyd and the rest are going in. They start pushing them back. Then we see Miles back in his quarters, sees that the curfew is now in effect. So was there any warning for this curfew before it was implemented? Or was it like the governor said there's a curfew and then they just show up with riot shields?
They just showed up.
Like, couldn't they said like, hey, everyone, we're going to institute curfew. So if you're all here in an hour, we're coming back, whatever. But that doesn't seem like, it seems like it's a direct confrontation. And it's, it's pushing and shoving at first, but then it quickly spirals out of control. People start getting arrested, thrown to the ground, beat up. We see here Miles does show up, and he sees Lily getting thrown down and beat up by one of the MPKs. So he runs over. This guy must have a name, Mustachio Man. He's like, "Oh, good, Miles is here, our leader," because they want Miles to be like the leader of like the people, I think, or something.
Well, Miles is going to get a lot of credibility here.
Yeah.
From them.
Yeah, I guess he is. He's got he tackles this guy to the ground and he beats on this guy pretty good. Like past the point of needing to, perhaps, but it's rage. All that rage, and Palmer sees him do it.
That's who he should have done it to.
Yeah, but as we see here, like Miles, he picks up Lily and tries to get her out of there. As like we see different cops and people getting beat up and different people being beat up by the cops. Then one of the cops pulls out a gun. And then it really kicks off here. So one person gets shot. Guns
in space, great idea.
And then Boyd, this is when Boyd thinks it's really out of control. Now the guns have been used.
Right.
She's like, no, we were just gonna beat them with clubs. Come on, this is much more civilized.
Yeah.
So they
just light brutality.
Light brutality. It's a lot better. We see Ed Baldwin's pictures are getting smashed. Everything's going down here, and then some of the cops lose their guns, and then the protesters start shooting the cops, and then Palmer orders a retreat.
So did you guys notice that in this scene there was no showing of national brand logos?
Oh yeah, no,
I saw Domino's.
I think we saw
the riot, but
I saw Starbucks before the riot started.
But I don't think. But after, you're right. We don't see it after. Oh wait, there's Domino's, but it's very dark. It's hard to see.
It's the lights are off.
Yeah, like this is not a Domino's endorsed riot, everyone. Okay, let's get that straight.
You know what? You're
Domino's Pizza does not encourage rioting on this planet or any other.
Or any other.
Two for $8. Pizzas, wings, or bread.
Yeah. So they have at least one gun after this, the protesters, and then the other MPKs, they come in here to the governor and the mission control. And they're like, "We have to take you to a secure location, sir, right away." He's like, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm a brave governor who will face the people." And they're like, "Well, that's really dumb." That's like a guy running into a ballroom with a gun, and then you're trying to I'm not being pushed to the ground by the Secret Service. I was, just trying to crouch down or whatever. So that is the end of the episode, as the governor is imminently waiting for the confrontation with whatever is coming his way. And we see him staring it down, and that is the end of the episode.
Right.
So I don't know. We've seen episodes that are more boring than this. I gotta say that for sure. You know.
It had a lot of great themes, a lot of like current, parallels to what's going on literally right now.
Yes.
So,
and
I
yeah,
enjoyed
that's
it for
what
that.
I enjoyed it too for that perspective. I think our criticism of I would rather it be back to more space exploration than just trying to.
You're
tell the human-
wishing for a show that it long ago said we're not doing anymore.
We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, that show is over.
They
It's
left that show on the moon.
It's too expensive. Yeah, it's too expensive. We can't do all. How many cables can kill people? We can only do that so many times.
I was not tired of people being killed by cables and crushed between ships, for the record. Okay? I don't like it, but, it was exciting, But now it's like, it's all...
No, you don't like the rioting. You want fancier death.
Yes.
Yeah, more like die.
Space deaths, they're rare. We don't get to see space
creative.
deaths a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know, this
This is a show about Mars, and they should be talking about Mars or something else. This is just bringing all the Earth's problems to Mars to do, and we see these every day anyway. So, this is it's like I'm not minding the drama here, but it's not new.
Yeah, I think that's all fair.
I do think it's on the upswing now, though. The first episode of this season, I was like, oh my God, are we going to have to watch a whole season of this? But I feel like they're picking it up, even though it certainly isn't at its former glory. They're doing some stuff.
They're doing some stuff.
Nothing in space, but...
Yeah, it's not. I just wish it was more of a science fiction show, that's all. Sometimes, but it's not that I like I like politics. I like this kind of stuff generally speaking. But I feel like I'm it's hard to give me everything, at once. If this was all set on Earth, I would probably be more into it. If it was just like a political drama,
I wouldn't be watching it.
No,
you wouldn't be watching, and we wouldn't be talking about it here on this channel, right?
Yeah.
So we'd probably be on another channel if we were doing it at all. So anyway, is there any trivia, Adam? Do you want me? I know
I'm sorry, sort of looking, but one thing I was just curious about it was, Ronald D. Moore is the executive producer at this point in the show, and I was wondering, did he grow up a union man? Was his parents and I can't find what his parents did for a life, but he was in the Writers Guild of America, and he did follow the rules of that union very, very religiously. And so there you go, Dave. I don't have a lot tonight. I'm sorry about that. I'm
That's
on the
okay.
go. Well, I'm
I
really
understand.
not
I
on the go.
understand.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give you a chance if you want.
Thank you.
Svoboda, as we mentioned, means freedom in Russian.
Freedom. I don't think there was a lot of freedom in this episode. This is a complete contradictory to that statement.
I guess because it's Russian, and it's the Russian version of freedom, which means you're in a gulag.
I can't find anything about
Freedom to obey.
I can't find much about Ronald D. Moore's parents.
Well, look at the other shows he's done though. Look at Battlestar Galactica, even Deep Space Nine. I've seen so many things with Deep Space Nine parallels with this season, with occupation, with all sorts of different concepts of labor, and basically what you had with the Dominion War and that resistance and the Bajorans. I actually thought that Boyd was gonna tell the dude you betrayed a uniform. It didn't happen. I was hoping for it, but
You're right, Jeff. And then you go to Battlestar is the whole Tillium ship that they were going to shut down. Tom Zarek was going to shut down, and actually had the fleet by the balls by that. It was kind of
Yeah, and the other show Ronald D. Moore did was called Outlander. I've never I've watched it a bit with Jane. I'm not fully.
Is that based on the books?
All right, guys. I'm going to give my rating. I'm going to give this a 7. Okay, I got to go. My truck is here.
Good luck, Adam.
Bye.
Thanks.
Good luck. Thanks. Bye.
I didn't realize that Ronald D. Moore did the show for that. I haven't read the books, but several of my friends are into it, and they're really great. Apparently, that makes me kind of want to watch it more if Ronald D. Moore is involved.
And a lot of it's about
loves the books and the
because it's kind of a science fiction thing, right? It's time travel or something, but it's also just about the Scots being oppressed by the English. too, so it's got a bit of those kinds of things in it. Good show. I watched a bit of it, but anyway, okay. Well, with all that said, I think we can get into our ratings. Thanks to Adam for being with us. We'll have to get Jody's rating next time. He was like, I don't know if Jody would like this one or not. Oh.
I think Jody would have liked this one more than the last one.
Oh, sorry, I haven't added this to the spreadsheet yet. Give me a second. I'm a little behind on my spreadsheets. Okay. Share the screen, Dave. Rating time with Dave. Is that just something?
What a bop.
What a bop. All right, here. They finally got it up. Ratings. Okay. Adam gave it a 7, right?
Yep.
All right. Okay. And what's this one called? Svoboda. All right. Jody not here. Okay, me. I liked this pretty well. I thought the intro in particular was good, so I'll go 8. Kevin?
Okay, I'm gonna start with the Ed episode. Home.
Yep.
Highest so far, 5.
Right.
Last week, I don't even remember what happened, so we're gonna go 3 on that one.
Okay.
And this week's pretty good. I'll go 7 this week. It was all right.
Highest point. So you're averaging 3.6 for the season to date.
Yeah, good. That's about right. That feels right.
Heather, you're up.
I liked it better than last week, so I will say 8.
And Jeff?
I'll go 8.5. I'll be the high score. I think I liked it.
High watermark. Jeff Mater here. I'm just checking the IMDb score is at 7.3 with 258 votes at this point. It's been out for a few days, so it's not the worst thing. Okay, so that concludes our.
I mainly voted. Sorry to interrupt, but I mainly voted for Alex and his scene with Dev.
Yeah,
that
him
was
telling Dev off.
That was big for me in this episode. I really enjoyed that.
Stand up to the man and the billionaires, like Dev. All right. Well, that concludes our review of Svoboda. Looking ahead to the next episode, it is called No Sudden Moves. And the synopsis is a desperate group of Marsies tries to rectify a dangerous situation. A dangerous situation.
Greg, can you go back to that screenshot? She has that look on her face every episode.
Yeah.
She's always kind of like shocked, but also kind of,
apprehensive.
She's like she's like worried, but also, I don't know, like hungry.
Well, she was hit in the face with a pipe.
True. Traumatized from the pipe hitting. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not always entirely sure what she's feeling in any given scene, but
acting.
Yeah, that's. I'm not supposed to know. It's meant for that. Okay, and then we have other shows here on this channel. Every Thursday, we cover an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. We will be on this Thursday. I'm on with Heather, Jody, and Shaggy, I believe, talking about Remember Me, a Star Trek Next Generation episode where no one knows who Dr. Crusher is. Or nobody knows anybody else that Dr. Crusher knows. It's something like that. Look out for that. Season 4, episode 5 this Thursday here on Live Long and Podcast. Also on the Super Mater Brothers podcast every Wednesday, a sister channel or a brother channel to this one in the United Federation podcast. We're going to be talking about Survivor 50, episode 10, a side dish of chaos. And we'll look out. Mr. Beast is going to be on this next episode of Survivor. He's bringing a double beware challenge. Yep. So that's it
You
tonight.
seem very proud of that. Like that's a good thing. It's horrible. What, Mr. Beast on Survivor? Oh
Well,
man.
I can't wait to hear Foster's rant about it.
Yeah,
when
he's
it
gonna
happens.
hate it. Oh,
He's
God.
gonna hate
You
it.
think
I've already written the intro for him for that podcast, so it's gonna be good. All right. Well, thanks for being with us. Is Kevin frozen or?
He
Oh.
definitely is.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we were wondering if you were very
Yeah, because
intently.
your camera stopped moving, or he was just like, end the friggin' podcast
Yeah.
right now.
No. My camera's weird.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
It was just like the face you had when it froze. There. Anyway.
Oh, it might
Okay.
not have froze. I was very still.
That's just the face he was making.
Yeah, it took me a chance or a second to clock all that. Okay, well, see you next time here on Live Long and Podcast. Thanks everyone, and have a great night. Bye. Boom.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.